And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review. Today, we are bringing you the last, hopefully, the last installment of the Purge series. This one is called The Forever Purge, starring. Now, before I get into starring, just know I'm trying my best with these names because these are two really good actors in this movie. So, first I have Tenoch, Renata, and Anna de la Reguera, also starring Josh Lucas. Now, we'll do something different here. Normally, I jump into a synopsis and tell you about the movie. This movie is so off the wall. As I was looking up the synopsis to best describe it, I couldn't find a single one. So I said, let me give you two synopses. And you tell me if it sounds like two separate movies. First one. All the rules are broken as a sect of lawless marauders decide that the annual purge does not stop at daybreak and instead should last forever. That's synopsis one. Synopsis two. On the run from a Mexican cartel, a couple battle vicious thugs who plan to continue the violent tradition of the now outlawed purge. So you see what I mean by it doesn't even sound like the same movie? Welcome to the problem with the Forever Purge of balancing everything here. So let's start off by saying the two Mexican actors who are the leads in this movie, Anna and Tenoch. And I know I'm not saying your name right, sir. I greatly apologize for it. But the male lead in this movie, because that's what I'm calling from now on, the male lead, instead of messing up, butchering his name repeatedly here. The male lead in this movie is really charismatic. Tenoch, I know I just said I would not say his name again, but I'm going to say it because I like the name. Matter of fact, scratch that. Just let me get the name he plays in the movie, because maybe it would be better if I just got the name that he plays in the movie instead of me butchering his name over and over and over again to confuse all of you all out there, which I don't want to confuse you all out there. So it's better for me just to say the character he plays in the movie. Very typical name. He plays Juan in the movie. So the actor that plays Juan in this movie is amazing. He single-handedly is the best thing in this movie. As we start off with the reintroduction of the Purge, which is this movie is supposed to be the reintroduction of the annual Purge happening, we are introduced to extremely racist white characters and very lovable Mexican-American characters. That's the best way to put it. And then everything that happens that you think is going to happen starts to happen here. It is a very simple setup. This movie amazingly doesn't manage to have the fun that the other Purge movies have. Now, we're 5 Purge movies in here. 5. Amazingly, 5 movies. And this could be the second to worst Purge movie because it doesn't embrace the psycho idiocy that happens with a Purge movie. It doesn't fully embrace it. It doesn't embrace the chaotic fun you can have with these movies. Like the Frank Grillo movies, I think the last one was Election Year, which could be the best Purge movie ever made. This movie seems too self-serious at times. It is, full disclosure here, like a liberal person's best dream ever. Proving a certain former person who was in a certain former position in power in this country wrong. And the movie plays like that throughout. So whether that's a good thing or bad thing for you, the issue is still the execution here. It never has fun. And even in the first Purge, which is not the Ethan Hawke first Purge, but the first Purge, the last Purge movie, even in all of its self-seriousness, it still had fun. This one never has fun. And because you don't have fun, it drags this movie back down to the Ethan Hawke original. That really was not that fun. So for us to get to the point of a 5th Purge movie and for someone to decide we want to take it back to the tone of the first Purge movie is ridiculous and unforgivable. The only good part here is, again, the 2 lead performances. That is the best part of this movie. Their chemistry together really works. The actor who plays Juan, that's what I'm going to call him right now. He is so charismatic when he's on screen. It makes you pay attention to that character. Unfortunately, when he's off screen, it gets rather dull. Josh Lucas, who at one point was like the next big thing in Hollywood, comes across as so boring, kind of inter-racist white guy here type of character. It's nothing there for him to ever be on screen by himself. Nothing really works when he's on screen. It just feels just unnecessary. And that's kind of odd with this type of movie to say at times the racist aspects of the film, they go over the top with to I'm guessing to get some feeling out of you. But instead, you're left wondering why. And you never want to be left wondering why when you get to a Purge movie. You want it to be concrete and give you exactly what you want, which is normally chaotic fun. This movie is not fun at all. And because it's not fun, it makes it the worst Purge movie. And you waste two really good performances in this movie. Now, Purge movies, especially recent ones, have been known for their gore. Besides a bunch of outlandish gunshots and crazy setups, it's not really that gory either. It took away every element of horror from this and turned it to just a straight kind of an action movie, kind of the way that the last Purge movie before this one set that role going, and you had a black John McClane type of character implanted in it. This one we get Juan, who plays a very similar Mexican spaghetti western type of character. So if you're not into that, you're not going to be into this movie. It's hard to really describe anything that makes sense in this movie. As far as the direction goes, I think it was directed okay, but it's so chaotic at times. And whoever wrote this movie failed everyone. Let's just point blank simple. Whoever wrote this movie failed everyone involved in this movie. The actors tried their darndest to pull out great performances out of some of the worst dialogue I've heard in a Purge movie. That unto itself is an amazing feat to pull off. So, the Forever Purge, which drops in theaters this Friday. I know it sounds like I did a lot of rambling. It's not really much to explain with the plot of this movie. It is very simple. Bad things happen. We get a survival of a purge, and then a forever purge starts. There's nothing else to talk about in this movie. So again, Forever Purge drops this Friday in theaters. Out of a possible 10, I'm going to get a Forever Purge 4.5 out of 10. This should have been a fun movie. This should have been something that you could rest your hat on with the Purge series and say, we're going to close it, and we're going to close it on a high note. Even though the last Purge movie I didn't particularly like a lot, it still managed to have just enough fun to make it watchable. Here, it's just too self-serious. And you can't have a Purge movie be self-serious, because at that point, I think you ruined why this series has lasted so many years with so many films. It's because you can go escape into theaters and have fun with these films. And this one strips all of that away for you and ends on a horrible whimper note for the series. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.